Hi, I am Rukaya Majid. I will be speaking on the subject language. The purpose of learning language at an early age as a child enters the Montessori House of Children is very crucial. The child learns to adapt and form social relationships outside of his home environment. When learning language in their Montessori House of Children, they first learn the sounds that each letter makes, and then they associate that sound to the physical letter. Once the child is able to recognize the letters by their respective sounds, he forms words by analyzing each and every sound that is necessary to form a word. When the child is at the Montessori, he is able to expand and explore the language he has learned from his home environment. With the guided material in his Montessori, he is able to develop a larger vocabulary of that language and is able to associate pictures to their respective words or letters. He forms words by analyzing each and every sound that is necessary to form a word. When the child is at the Montessori, he is able to expand and explore the language he has learned from his home environment. He is able to then move on to reading full sentences and also learn the function of each word in a sentence, such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, and so on. The main aim of this subject is to help the child to recognize, analyze each sound and read letters when presented to him.
I'm going to explain to you about the 6 areas of the spoken language. Firstly is enrichment of vocabulary. We must give ample words to the little children and always explain them with the correct words. Secondly is naming of objects. While using the 3-period name lesson, we always try to give the correct name and the pronunciation to the little children. It will help them to understand and grasp to collect more words. Following which we have social language. Child is being helped to communicate with others using polite words. We must teach them the grace and courtesy to them. As examples, please, sorry, etc. It will be very helpful to the children to understand each other's feelings and to respect others as well. Then we move on to qualities in the environment. The child is a sensorial explorer and he will be able to understand the qualities of the environment. As examples, big and small, thick and thin, etc. Later we have parts of a speech. We can introduce these as group work to the children. We must show them the correct place to use the parts of a speech. Example, under the table, bring the bottle, etc. And lastly, we have classified pictures, a set of pictures representing a classification of some aspects of the child's environment. Then the expansion of oral language. We do conversation, stories, poems and songs, news periods, question game and the sound game, which will help the children in expansion of oral language. Keys to literacy. Sandpaper letters and the movable alphabet will be a guide to the little child to express his thoughts. It will help the child with the analysis and exploration of the language which is known to him and to reproduce words with graphic symbols. Thank you.
When it comes to the subject language, we not only focus on developing the child's spoken language and written language, but also on the development of the child's reading skills. As a part of the child's reading preparation, it is important to introduce books to the child. Hence, the child understands that a book is an expression of someone's thoughts, creativity, and imagination. Reading is an ability which develops during long sensitive period of language, from prenatal hearing through the age of 5. In reading stages, we have activities such as reading folders, reading booklets, phonetic reading, and much more. It is an extension of the development of vocabulary. When the child is more familiar with the reading and begins to understand the meaning of words, we introduce activities which will help the child to understand the function of words, such as the parts of a speech, noun, pronouns, conjunction, that is joining two sentences together, adjectives, verbs such as action words, and so on. This helps the child to understand what words represent and how we form sentences. We have activities such as article game, adjective game, conjunction game, and preposition game, and so on.